Welcome to Cookies and Cream.
A podcast about life, marriage, race, and whatever else we want to talk about.
I'm Matt.
I'm Maya.
And we're a Christian mixed couple.
Sharing our experiences one episode at a time.
You gonna say it?
I'm gonna say it.
I don't care that you broke your elbow.
Yo, yo, yo!
What it is, what it is, what it is.
What it do, what it do.
Cookies and Cream, coming for you. We a podcast. We're
Through and
through. Just saying we're a
Here,
podcast through and through is crazy.
Yeah.
What's up?
Hi.
Video.
This is video.
We are recording video.
If you're listening on audio, you can be watching.
And should be.
On video.
Go subscribe.
If you would like.
YouTube. You can watch it on Spotify. Mm-hmm. You should be able to watch the video on Spotify without leaving, which is nice.
I haven't had an Apple product besides our iPad in a long time, so I don't know what Apple Podcast does.
I don't know what they be doing anymore these days.
No clue.
They got.
Is it still separate from iTunes? They haven't mixed them?
I think Apple Podcast is still its own thing, but
yeah.
Got $500
headphones. Does my hair
headphones.
look weird?
You got a little flippy, a little on this
here?
side. Just pull that one in, and you'll be good. There we go.
Better when I.
You look good.
Figured it all out before we started recording.
Yeah, that's all right. Also, this was mainly just so we could show this off for the video. We got our second fall Starbucks drink. Which is what again?
The pumpkin chai thing. The iced chai with the pumpkin cream cold foam on top.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's so good.
It just does something for my soul.
Okay, so I need to establish. Are we looking at the camera? Are we looking at each other?
We're looking at each other.
Not the camera.
We were just teeing up the people for the first time. Okay.
I also am realizing it's hard for me to look at the camera and not at the monitor.
You are not making eye contact with us. We are making eye contact with each other, camera. So.
Okay, cool.
During our talking, we will be looking at each other.
Okay.
You good?
I'm great.
You good? I'm going to take one more sip and then we can jump in.
Okay. Get my notes.
All right. Tell the people what we're going to be talking about today.
All right. This week on Cookies and Cream, we will be talking about authenticity. Are we going to do those annoying no. effects over the... You sure? Okay.
I will not be doing that because I don't want to do all that editing.
That's a good point.
So yeah, tell the people what you mean by authenticity.
Well, we will as the episode goes on.
I'm already going to tell you. Hold on.
Okay.
You don't have to split your attention between that and me.
Okay.
Just look at me.
Okay. Just like
they're a fly on the wall.
Okay.
We're having a conversation.
This is weird.
I know.
I'm not used to being in front of a camera taking a picture.
Be patient. Just let us figure this out. You don't have to be judgmental yet. We're getting there. We're going to get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. Okay.
Lock in. Walk in.
Walk in. That's what Ezzy says. Walk in. All right. So, this week we're talking about authenticity. This is so weird. Yeah, kind of like what it is to be authentic, what it looks like for us. Kind of just like the whole realm of authenticity as it relates to us. Being specifically, like how we are
in our spaces that we find ourselves in.
Yeah.
And so like what you mean by that is just being, would you define that as being the same person no matter what setting you find yourself in? Is that what you would define authenticity as?
So that was the first thing I had on here, like defining authenticity as like a broad definition and then our individual ones. So for like broadly, I don't know, do you think it's like being the same no matter where you are, or do you think it's more like, I feel like authenticity is just kind of, I mean, it's authentic, being yourself.
Then define the word authentic, because
authenticity, real, true, in this sense, I guess just like being yourself. Honestly.
And talk about why this is a topic of conversation to even have. Because
that's a good idea.
For a lot of people, maybe, I don't know, it might just be a product of being in Christian spaces a lot, or our families or whatever. for most people, I feel like, not most people, but a lot of people would be like, why do you even have to, like, that's just a given of life that you just be yourself.
Yeah.
and like, it's a good thing to be yourself and it's a bad thing to not be yourself, whatever. And so, yeah, talk about why we had the idea to even talk about this.
I don't know why I had the idea, honestly. I think I was just driving and thought of it. But I think in life, as you are getting older and like coming into yourself more, you just figure out who you are. That's
Right.
just something that happens to everyone. And I think for me, I wouldn't call myself necessarily a shapeshifter, but I have not known who I was. And it has been easier for me to just kind of bend to the people around me.
Yeah.
And not even necessarily in decisions, but just in like the things I chose to like or the opinions I had or things like that.
Or even
And
the way
so-
that you talk or
Yeah.
act or, you know.
Yeah, and then in the context we're in now in life, most of our friends are from our church.
Right.
And so if we're hanging out with people that aren't our family, most of them are from our church. I say that to qualify why church is such a big part of this.
Yeah. And we also did, like, we talked a lot about that already on our
Yeah.
last 2 episodes about struggling with church, just like why it is, even like for you specifically in your cultural background, why it can be hard to be your real self.
Yeah,
So we've kind of gone into that with church specifically, but
we have. But yeah, I think it's just a huge theme in life right now.
yeah.
Just me trying to figure out how to be myself, trying to have, I think it takes a lot of courage to be authentic, and it takes a lot of vulnerability
Yeah.
to be authentic sometimes. And so, yeah, I think I'm just kind of in the middle of trying to figure out what that looks like
Yeah.
and how to do it.
You think now, because now you feel like, whether it's just because you think you might have just gotten saved or whatever, feeling like you do know who Maya is now in a way that you might not have before, like that's why it's sort of
Yeah, a
coming up.
little more.
Because that
for
seems like
sure.
that's I've
Yeah.
seen that happen. I feel like.
Yeah, I feel more sure of myself. And yeah, I feel more sure of myself. And I'm now at the point where I'm like, oh, I can just be sure of myself. Like I can just like the things that I like. And so now I'm having to do the work of having the courage to outwardly like the thing that I like or say the thing that I think or
Yeah.
whatever that might be.
I'm in the same boat, I think, because I've been having some of the same things of just, I now feel like in the last couple of years I've really come into me and who I am, and even what life looks like, since we've been married almost 5 years now, and I kind of like, I know the things that I like, I know the things that I'm passionate about, I know what are like my biggest values, maybe in a way that I didn't used to, and now I'm unlearning a lot of things that were, whether it was just my own reaction to being kind of a pastor's kid raised in the church world, or whether it was actually put upon me by that. I'm unlearning a lot of things about how I act in different spaces where growing up everything was about kind of just performance. It was just, it didn't actually matter who you were, didn't actually matter what you thought or felt about something or what you even believed about something. When it's church, you just act a certain way. You show up a certain way. You don't rock the boat. You're not allowed to vocalize a lot of, especially as a pastor's kid, like a lot of questions or doubts, or talk about what's, even just like sin struggles that you're going through. And so I think I'm starting to figure out now what it looks like to not also be just like a shapeshifter and morph based on being around church people or being around work people or friends, or like the person that I am with you is me, and I'm trying to figure out how to be me around everybody,
Yeah.
and I'm working toward it. It's slow, but I'm working toward it.
That's a good way to put it, though. Like the person that we are with each other is who we
The
want to be.
truest of us. Yeah, for sure.
Which I think is part of what we wanted to talk about, because this is so weird.
How are we doing? We doing okay? Sound off in the comments if we're doing okay.
I'm just like trying not to, in the back of my mind, be thinking like all of my little fidgets and my little, like the things that I do that they cannot see.
Be authentic.
I know. Now they can see them. And I'm
Just
like,
don't pick your nose or respond to text during our podcast.
I wasn't. My phone kept timing out because it had the 2-minute timeout, so I was changing that. I wasn't responding to a text.
I thought I didn't matter to you.
But even like the things where like I know that I have RBF right now and I'm just making that face at you.
Okay, the little pop filter might be covering your mouth, so you might be okay. Can't see your frown.
But I'm not upset or like disinterested, but it probably looks like I am, but I'm not, and you're used to my face.
You got to trust that I like doing this podcast with you because I like sitting across from you and talking to you.
Yeah.
Your face that you're making while you talk to me is not off-putting. Otherwise, I would tell you, hey, being this, you need to be off-putting. Shout out to Between Two Ferns, bro. Anyway, continue. You're doing great, and you look great, and you're beautiful.
Thank you. Okay. Anyways, I think that was part of what I wanted to talk about today with the podcast specifically, which I guess we'll just jump around this list and just be fine. When people say that they like our podcast, to me, one of the things I've heard a lot is it just feels like we get to see a part of you and Matthew that we don't normally get to see because it's like
super raw.
Yeah, and it's almost private. You know, it's not like we're just not like this with everyone.
Yeah.
And also my friends don't see you much.
True.
Like they're not having these in-depth conversations with you and getting to see a bunch of your personality.
And they see me be also around like their husbands.
Yeah.
When I'm just like grills. Sports. which is what I'm working on. But yeah.
I think.
Do you feel like it's primarily church people who say that to you?
The only people I know that listen to our podcast are church people, family, and like 2 friends that
from out of state
don't live here. So
I mean, the people that you talk to on a
regular
basis
the church people that we've which would make sense. Our family knows us. They get to see us when we're exhausted and when we're like at all of the different parts of life, and we interact with them constantly. And so that's not abnormal for them. Which I haven't had anybody say like, I don't feel like you're authentic in person, but you are on your podcast. It's not that. It's just like we're seeing more
another level.
Yeah. Which is interesting because it's what we wanted when we started our podcast. We wanted it to be just like a fun, this is us. This is almost like a time capsule where we get to see how we evolve over the years, but also like we just have a unique perspective that we can bring to things sometimes, and it's just a fun thing to do. But yeah, it makes me happy that people have said that to me, because I'm like, okay, then that's like, that was the goal. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. But also it's just very interesting because it has gotten me in my head just a little bit, because I'm like, oh yeah, you are seeing something that you don't normally see.
Yeah.
You are not privy to the way me and Matthew interact all the time, and like our inner thoughts about certain things, and like, and even the podcast, you're not, our listeners, viewers, whatever, are not getting everything, because there are certain things we try very hard to be extremely authentic on our podcast.
Yeah. But there are certain things that are still going to be
that we censor or don't say, for even like the church episode.
Yeah,
like
didn't say the name of our church.
Yeah. Or like there were some things that were personal to specific people, but that wasn't the goal of the episode. We're not trying to slander people and call people out.
But
because
I know what you're trying to say though is just we are able to we talk more about our deepest thoughts and feelings about things than we do sometimes, than we historically have around friends or in public or whatever. And it's an interesting, weird thing. I think in real life with my close friends, I am fairly open, and especially in the last like year, I am more open, and I am more like, I just kind of say what I'm thinking, which gets me in trouble sometimes. Yeah, you just be saying crazy stuff.
Yeah, I really do. But Rachel would be like, yeah. And Ruth Ann, she'd be like, mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
It's okay. But yeah.
But not more broadly with bigger groups of friends or people that you don't know super intimately. That's me too. I'm the same way where like
not at all.
I'm very guarded naturally with just talking and being super open and free with my personality. I don't know. And like I struggle to not be when I'm at church, just be incredibly churchy and just like use all the Christian
Bible man.
Bible man. But yeah, not to just use all the kind of Christianese words and not speak the way I would normally speak and not talk about stuff that I would normally talk about. And then when I'm at work, sometimes I have like the temptation to not be as, I don't know, to just turn off my goofiness or like
Personality.
Yeah. I get very professional and very like just, you know, business. And then sometimes when I'm with my friends, like I said, I can get like super football and man stuff and not talk about my real interests. I love football, but like, you know what I mean? Not like be just the way I am. And so I'm like, yeah, I think like you said, this podcast is almost a good like cornerstone of this is where we're being the most real. And we can, I don't know, maybe like just working toward being this version of ourselves in every setting or something. But anyway, what's next on your list?
I actually have a question for you about that. Do you feel like you just like laid out the different areas of your life where you're different? Do you feel like any of those are inauthentic or incomplete? Like, is it just one small part of you or not authentic to who you actually are?
Mostly it's just incomplete. Because like I said, with like the football example, I do really love football. And it's not like I'm making up something when I talk about that stuff. But I also there are a lot of things that I just don't bring up in those circles. I think the one where I would say is probably borders on inauthentic is at church. Because a lot of the time it's comes with me not talking openly or truthfully about struggles that are going on, you know, other than with like a couple of people. Just like when I'm having a conversation with someone, it's so easy to just be like, let's talk about all the like highlights of life and not ever get to the deep, like, hey, I'm going through this thing right now in my heart, or I'm having these doubts or questions about God, or I'm really having a hard time not just relying on myself and trying to have control of my life. Whatever it is, just I can leave out parts of myself or parts of what I'm going through very easily and just do the kind of smile and wave and put on a brave face and say the right Christianese words that ends up getting into the territory of probably just being a different person and not actually putting on a complete mask, you know? And so
I would agree with that.
Yeah, do you think there's any more than just church where I do that? Sometimes at work, maybe.
I would say you border on that at work sometimes.
Depending on the day, I think I would say.
But I think understandably at work, because the way you think about work, I'm trying to say this the right way. Your coworkers are not outside of work. They're not your friends outside of work. They are. Yeah,
because I work remotely, and so
work.
I'm not seeing them in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if you were seeing them in your life, you aren't actually like close friends with any of them.
And I'm not you should be friends with your coworkers person.
Yeah.
I'm a very much like a boundaries work life. Yeah.
Now, if you just happen to really click with one of your coworkers and y'all ended up being best friends, I don't think you'd have a problem with that. No. But it's not like any of your coworkers, you're just, well, first of all, they're all women.
All but one
except for one
now.
But yeah, that doesn't matter. But yeah. But I think that that's okay to a certain extent. Like,
yeah, it's not like you have to go around
it's
talking,
professional
being
guy.
super intimate and talking about everything with your coworkers.
And I think at work you do find a good balance of
I try
letting your coworkers in on things and letting them see different parts of your life and your faith and things like that without crossing the line into you're in my personal life in a way I don't really need you to be, you know?
Man, yeah, but that's been a struggle because for me, it's been difficult over the last couple of years with just the balance of talking about my faith.
This is so good.
I know, it's hitting in it. It's doing
For
everything
those
it needs
that are
to do.
just listening, we're talking about our drinks. They're just fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I just
That's
am
a good
dancing every time I take a sip because it's
I know.
so good.
Because I have a lot of unbelieving coworkers and people that are just like not coming from the same background that I am. And so there are certain ways that it's not like I don't work for a Christian company.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are certain ways that I have to just, you know, I've had situations in the past where it was like I'm being a little bold about it, and there was a conversation about, hey, pull back, yeah. And so I've had to figure out how to be like, it almost feels like, which is a good thing, I think. It almost feels like I can't fully be my authentic self because I can't talk about things in spiritual terms the way that I would with someone that I'm close to. Like, I can't frame a struggle or a thing I'm going through in my life through the lens of God, you know, like it being even just like God's plan or even pray for me, you know, stuff like that. And so there's almost like a built-in surface level thing that comes with that. And also I work remotely, which means I don't have opportunities to kind of like see my coworkers and go out and have a little like a lunch and have a conversation or whatever. It's all within the like framework of Zoom, like conversations, calls, whatever. And so I've had a hard time with that. I'm working toward being able to find the line. But like you said, I think there's a level of it that's fine because it ultimately is work, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, what about you? What are your settings?
Honestly, I think family is one where both of our families separately, where I can be a little different depending on some of that's natural, some of that's just personalities and things like that, past hurts, whatever it is that can make me put up walls or not put up walls, and which I can go into more, but so I think family would be one, church is a big one, and all the parts of church. So like there's Sunday, there's day to day, there's Wednesdays during our community groups. All of my friends go to our church. So I would kind of lump that in there. That's pretty much it, to be honest. Are there any more?
No, because you don't have
There's work, but
work is with your
my
family. Yeah.
So
She works for her dad, for those who don't know.
yeah. So there's a lot of overlap.
There is. And also with church and your friends, there's a lot. Your life is full of a lot of overlap.
Yeah.
And so it's weird.
Yeah.
I have more defined categories than you, I think.
Yeah. Which I'm okay with. Like I have sought to make friends outside of church, but overall it doesn't bother me that there's so much overlap. But yeah, I think with family, with my side of the family, growing up the way that I had to be to almost just survive, I've realized isn't always very authentic to who I actually am. Like I'm not as extroverted as I thought I was. I'm much more of an introvert than I thought I was growing up because you just kind of have to be. Everybody's loud and close, and we're outside in the living room together. And I mean, not always, but like
that was what it
just
took
what
to
it was.
be part of your family.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I was a loud person. I'm no longer loud. Most of the time you can't hear me.
I was going to say, I so often have to tell you, like, babe, you realize that right now you're talking. I say you're talking into yourself. That's what I say. It's like you're talking into your own mouth, not out. But yeah, it's crazy because when I met you, you were so just like loud, like extroverted, outgoing, flamboyant, just like the life of the party, the one who was just the loudest volume and the loudest personality.
Yeah. I still laugh loud. And I can be loud.
Yeah.
But
specifically when you're with your family.
Yeah. And so that's what I meant.
Yeah.
In different sects of my family.
You gotta emphasize that T.
Sect.
In different sects. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I could just be a little bit different because of having to or just reverting.
Yeah, whether it's
sometimes.
just like a natural thing that happens
Yeah.
to you. Or, yeah.
And then my sides of the family are just different. My parents are divorced, and so I have 3 families. I have those 2 and then yours. And on my dad's side, we are louder and we talk about more. On my mom's side, it can be rowdy, but usually we're just kind of sitting there watching TV. There's not a bunch of closeness. There's not a bunch of like deep conversation on that side. And there's not the basis of we're all saved on my mom's side.
Whereas with your dad's, it is.
Yeah. So yeah, they're just very different. And so I can be very different in each. On my mom's side, I can kind of clam up and just go into myself and just be there. And then on my dad's side, I either assimilate and I just kind of like, okay, we're here. I'm going to match your energy, or I get real quiet because I don't naturally, which is not just about volume, but that's like one example. And then I think church is the hardest one overall because, again, just very different from most of the people at church. And I've had to have a lot of questions and conversations about how different I am. Yeah. Wait, what does that mean? Wait, why do you say that? Why did you say it like that? What are you wearing? Why is your hair like that? What those things?
Those are good examples because we had somebody after our last episode ask, like, what are some specifics of when you say that you don't fit in?
Yeah.
And so that's a good like couple of things to say. Like,
yeah,
you'll say a phrase or
like one time I said Ezra was knocked out, and somebody that goes to our church was like, What is wrong? What happened? And I'm like, what? Why are you afraid? What is happening? And she was like, what do you mean knocked out? I was like, oh, he was asleep. And
she had just never heard that before.
Which just happens in life. Like, that's not a bad thing necessarily, but I'm just not around people that are like me and grew up like me and have the same culture as me. Or like
your hair, when you talk about your hair.
The first time I put braids in my hair, we were in Great Bend, and the amount of people I had come up to me asking me what's happening.
Did you add hair?
Did your hair grow?
Is that dreadlocks?
Yeah, just like,
are those kinky twists?
Things like that are just,
or even how loud you are. Like when you laugh, or like when something's getting funny and you just like amp up and you get really loud. And
yeah, or how competitive I can be about certain things. That's just like my family culture thing. But like also, how seriously I take certain things, the way my humor is, kind of just making fun of you a little bit. Like, that's not. Also,
you don't have the like white woman general melancholy. You'll be happy.
Jubilant.
Jubilant in the Lord. Lord, give me a spirit of jubilee.
Yeah. But even like church culture, the way I grew up, the things that I will say that are more charismatic.
Feel it in your spirit.
Yeah, things like that are just
derpy demons.
I rebuke that. Just things like that are just different.
Yeah.
And I'll get looks, or I'll get and it's not even necessarily always a judgmental thing so much as just like a
confusion. Yeah.
So yeah, it's been hard for me, and I think I'm just now actually sticking to doing the work of being like standing firm in who I am. It's been very hard for me being at our church for 4 years.
4 years, yeah.
To not just bend, just become the people around me.
Yeah.
With what I think, with what I believe, theology-wise, how I talk, whatever it is. Just, it's been hard not to code switch all the time. Or actually just change.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm now having to do the work of like, because like we said earlier, I feel like I actually understand more who I am. And so I'm like,
You can be confident in it.
I can actually stand firm in it and not feel the constant, am I wrong? Is something wrong with me? I don't feel unsure or uncertain all the time anymore. So now I'm just like, you can, that's fine. I don't care. I don't,
Yeah.
You can, that's fine for you. I'm going to stay over here.
Which is good, because you used to feel a lot of guilt and a lot
Yeah.
of uncertainty, because you're like, am I wrong? Like, do I,
Is everything I do sinful?
So what are ways, I don't know what else we have written down, but what are ways, I guess, that we could say concretely that we're working toward it? Actually, like, trying to change and be more authentic,
Yeah. Let's see. I would say for me, I am really trying with church to be more wise and thoughtful in who I say certain things to and the way that I say things, which almost sounds like the opposite, but I'm going to get there.
I know what you mean.
Because I think I've realized from the people around me that are much wiser than me and have been like pouring into me, I've realized that every scenario at church is not a scenario to be super vulnerable. And I think I thought that authenticity was just being vulnerable all the time, which is just exhausting, honestly.
Yeah. That'll get you into a hole.
Yeah. Just the vulnerability hangover thing is so real. And everybody is not a safe space or place for that.
Yeah.
Even though they're in our church. Like, it's still just a bunch of people.
Yeah. You're not close with everybody.
I'm not close with everybody. I don't like everybody. I don't gel with everybody. And in the normal real world, there wouldn't be the expectation to gel with everybody. I should respect everybody. I should I'm not saying I should go around disliking people, but I'm just saying
no, yeah.
I don't have to
So
feel safe with everyone.
You're saying, I guess, that because you are kind of an outlier in our church, that in that setting, authenticity and vulnerability are almost synonymous, because being vulnerable includes letting someone see the real you. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, but I think that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you think that there's no, because I'm thinking, as you're talking, I'm listening and thinking that it almost sounds like you could be saying that just going around being your authentic self all the time is not going to work, and so you have to be selective about it.
No, I think, okay, so with talking about authenticity, I'm talking about expressing my opinions on things, saying how I feel about things, speaking the way that I speak, dressing the way that I dress, making the jokes that I make, being honest about the music I listen to and the books I read and the shows I watch. Like, it's all of these things.
Yeah.
And I think that there are spaces where some of that is just universal. I dress the way I dress, and I'm not going to change the way I dress for church. That's I think that is me being inauthentic. Unless I only wore crop tops. I'm not wearing a crop top to church personally, but
I'll do that though.
Oh yeah, you can. You're
I
good.
rocked it that one Sunday.
This is awful.
My midriff was hairy.
Please stop.
Talk at the church.
Please. Free me from this.
No, I see what you're saying though. You're saying that there's external, outward things that are part of it, but that there's also kind of an inward thing.
And I think there's a line between not saying something and lying. And I think I'm having to find that line. Sometimes I'm just not going to say how I feel about something because I think it's not wise, either because you are not a safe person to talk to about this. This is not a safe group to talk to about this, or it's going to cause division. It's going to cause maybe be a stumbling block for somebody else. It's just not a wise spot to do it. And then there are some times when I'm asked about something where I have to find the line between, you are not a safe person for me to talk to about this, so I can't fully give you my answer, but I also don't want to give you something that's not true. And so trying to find the balance with that has been hard, but
I think you've been doing a good job from what I can see.
Thanks.
I think you've been very like selective in a good way about that. Like even just who you voice concerns about our church to, or who you voice, hey, I feel like I disagree with this thing. Like I think you do a good job of that. I think
I
there's
do an okay job, but I'm getting better.
I think for me, I'm such a blocky, boxy person in my brain that like it kind of just all goes together. I'm either being authentic or I'm not, and that just kind of affects everything.
Yeah.
And also there's less like with most of the spaces that I'm in, I just fit in better than you do in the spaces that you're in. Like church.
At least where we are in life right now.
Yeah, where we are now. With church, like we talked about on all of our church episodes, it's pretty much cut from the same cloth. It's kind of for me. Work, there is a lot of personality similarity and shared experiences between me and a lot of my coworkers. And so it's less, for me, it's less like having an authentic personality or speaking a certain way or dressing or acting a certain way. And it's more just the content of what I say and how I present myself. Like, being like an example that we've talked a lot about this. I'm a person that has a kind of dark sense of humor.
Not kind of.
Very dark sense of humor. And I really like kind of, dark, inappropriate, whatever jokes. And I'm like, in our life all the time, I just sit around and make incredibly dark comments on things, or like the way that I choose to be funny. And not even like dark is not the only word for it, and also inappropriate is not the best word for it. What would you say?
Kind of just edgy.
Edgy or irreverent, whatever. And that's a side of myself that I have not ever really put out there in the context of church. And like I've just slowly but surely been trying to do more of that, where it's like I think in my head when someone says something, I think of kind of a response or a comment or something that would be maybe a little bit, I don't know, inappropriate or edgy or whatever. And instead of just being like, well, this is not a place to say that, I've just been trying to say it. Just sort of.
Okay, so that's a really great example of what I was just trying to talk about.
Yeah.
There's a line between, or I guess line between is the only thing I can think of, so I'll just say it. Between you being inauthentic by not saying the joke when that's the thing you would say, and you realizing that this person doesn't respond to that kind of humor, or this person will only judge you for that and not think it's funny, or that might be offensive to this person.
There's like some wisdom behind it. Yeah.
That's kind of what I mean when I say like trying to figure out where is a safe place to do that.
Yeah.
Because there are some of our friends who have the same sense of humor and think it's hilarious, and like,
but then there are some that really don't.
No, they're just like, oh, just crickets.
Oh, it's so, I've honestly started to love that, because I love British humor. I love dry, just incredibly deadpan stuff. And so saying something like that and then just hearing crickets, I've honestly kind of started to love it, because I'm just like, oh man, I appreciate how funny that was. Whether you do or not is up to you.
Yeah. And I'm usually cackling, so
yeah,
you've got somebody on your side.
If we're in the middle of some kind of setting where it's not like everyone would laugh, I just look over at you and you just that. And then also, like, I don't know, when we're around the house, we'd be cussing a little bit, stuff like that. And just trying to be more okay with just doing that around in settings that, barring wisdom saying otherwise, are, I would have just thought
not trying
to myself,
act like we don't.
That's the best way to put it.
The line.
Not trying to act like, because that's honestly what it is. Like, being inauthentic is kind of lying, because it's trying to act like that you are a person that you're not, or that you're not a person that you are.
Yeah.
And it's like being, I think about the motivational posters that are like integrity, doing the same, whatever it is, like being the same person no matter who's looking or whatever, doing the right thing no matter who's looking. It's kind of like that. It's just like being the same person when we're alone or together with each other, or around a bunch of people, no matter who they are or where they're from.
Yeah.
It's like we just
I think
are
that
us.
cracked it open. Just not trying to seem like a different person.
Yeah. And so,
or not pretending we're not.
yeah,
that
because
we're something else.
like I said about the pastor's kid thing for myself, it is so baked into my being that masks and pretending to be a different type of way are a thing and should be a thing. It's like that's just a preconceived notion that's behind so much of my thinking and the way that I act, that like there are different buckets of life where you are different people. And it's like I'm really working to unwire that, you know?
Yeah, and I think a better way, as far as I've understood it lately, to think of it is not different buckets and different people, but like
Rings.
like a meter. You know, like this is how much of me you get.
Yeah.
Not this is which one of me you get.
That's good. What percentage of full me?
Yeah. So like you get 150%. You get everything that I am, the good, the bad, the ugly.
I know I do.
Thanks for noticing me. You get everything.
Yeah.
And then a person I just met, they're going to get a good 5%. You know,
yeah,
they're
it's a
just
good way to put it, though,
get,
because they're not on different scales. It's just
No.
different percentages on the same scale.
yeah.
I like
the
that.
depth of who I am, you're not
Yeah.
going to get. You're going to get something much more surface level, which I don't know. There's something to be said about the surface changing a little bit sometimes, you know, but
I think that's like with a total stranger, it's not, small talk is not fake.
no.
Unless you're just being super fakey. But like small talk is just, it's called small because it's literally like the smallest amount of depth that you could go into. It's just
Yeah.
like the most trivial subject you could talk about, but still being authentic within that is on the scale.
Yeah. But when I meet someone, going back to your question of like, what specifically are we doing?
Yeah.
When I meet someone new, speaking of the scale, I want them to only get that 1 to 5% of me, of depth from me, but also because I don't feel safe with this person. I think feeling safe,
that's part of,
is a huge part of.
yeah. I mean, that's just like
this.
deepening any relationship
Yeah.
is the more safe and the more comfortable you feel with a person.
Yeah.
But
I think that I have felt like, I don't even know what the word is, burned by being too vulnerable with people too quick a lot.
Talk about that a little bit, because that was your shtick. When I first met you, you were the person that was going to talk about your mental health problems within the first 5 minutes of meeting someone. Talk about why that you ever
I'm going to
were
forget what I'm saying now. So let me finish this
Okay.
and then I'll go talk about that. But yeah, when I meet a person,
putting a pin in it.
put a pin in it. Put a pin in it.
Shout out to all the Bolt fans out there.
This is such a good movie. Why do we talk about that movie so much? I think it's
Because
just that quote. We say
It's
put a
that
pin
quote,
in and then
but
think
it's
about
also
the
such
movie.
an underrated movie.
It's fantastic.
Incredible. No one. It has gone
Fantastic.
completely under the radar.
Yeah.
In the last 10 years.
Did we talk about Bolt in our movies episode?
I think we did.
Your dad, this is so ADHD, but your dad said I didn't bring up Land Before Time in the movies episode.
Oh, babe.
It's one of my favorite cartoon movies. So
Littlefoot.
good.
Anyway,
He's so cute. But anyway,
Talk.
back to this. When I meet someone, I am having to be very conscious to not turn on fake Maya, to not turn on the church Maya or whoever, you know, whatever it is. It's, hi, I'm Miss Bubbly and I'm just a normal person that you might want to be friends with. Hello.
ew.
I'm trying
was brutal.
not to be that
It's rough.
person. Trying to be, I don't know if I would like to say I'm a little bit witty and a little bit dry sometimes or whatever else. And I am trying to still be that.
Yeah.
Just the surface level of all of those different categories of myself. Because again, going into my past, I thought growing up, especially high school to college, I thought that being close to someone took extreme vulnerability. And I would just trauma dump on people because I thought that was how you created deep connections. Especially like having an interest in counseling and mental health and all of that. I just thought like this is so interesting and fascinating, and like I want to know everything about you right away, because then we can just be close and we can skip all the part where we're not close and where it's really hard to like establish closeness. Let's just skip that. If we just tell each other everything right away, then we're good and we're best friends.
Oh yeah, you did. I knew about every single thing that had happened in your past within about 48 hours of meeting you.
It was literally like within the first 3 weeks.
Yep.
But yeah.
No, it was days.
When was
Remember?
porch night?
No, it wasn't that. It was when
Porch night was when I showed you the essay.
when me and Tony went to your house, you told us about your suicidal thoughts.
Oh yeah, I forgot y'all came to my house. That was
Day 2 or day 3.
hours.
Yeah.
That was Sunday, and our
Thing was on Thursday. We started on
Thursday.
Thursday. That was
Yeah.
on a Sunday. So
oof. But anyway, that's
Case in
just how I
point.
would do it. I just thought that was like
hey, don't forget about your drink.
okay. It is 6 p.m. and I am drinking caffeine.
Of course,
What a great idea!
it's fall. Yeah, you thought that was what closeness looked like. You thought that was, which I mean, it makes sense because you were desperate for close friends.
Yeah.
And you were just like, you wanted to skip the non-close friends because you came into college being like, I need a best friend and I need like real relationships because you didn't really have any. And
No,
so,
and I never really had.
yeah.
I had in high school, I had friends that were really fun. We had a lot of fun together. We would occasionally talk about real stuff, but it wasn't like I so badly craved depth in my relationships, like deep closeness and talking about hard stuff and talking about real stuff. And surface level, I have just hated for so long, and I still
You
do.
still do. I was going to say.
Small talk is torture. I hate it.
I love a good small talk. I'll talk about the weather.
I hate it so much. I'm like, ugh, I don't care where you work. I'm sorry. Just don't. What
do you have
was it
any
like
siblings?
growing up? It's like, I hate it. But yeah. So
What's the
there's that.
darkest thought that you've ever had? Have you ever wanted to kill a child?
Oh gosh, what's wrong with you?
Hey, there's the dark humor. Yeah,
Baby Hitler.
I'm killing him.
Do you? What is the
The trolley
thought
problem?
experiment? Yeah, the trolley problem. It's like that. If you were to time travel and come upon baby Hitler, what are you doing? Do you just let it play out how it's going to? I think. Okay, hear
What's
me
on
out.
the other track?
It's not a trolley problem. It's just like that type of thing.
Oh.
Do you morally?
I don't understand why it's.
Do you injure or?
I will kill a baby
Kill-
if it's Hitler. What do you
Okay,
mean?
here's all I'm gonna say.
I'll chuck him in the river.
All I'm gonna say is there will just be another one.
But
We
like-
are an endlessly horrible people with just the depth of depravity in our hearts is awful. There will just be another Hitler if you kill baby Hitler.
I mean, that's true, but Hitler.
It
is
won't save
objectively
lives
Hitler.
overall.
I don't think that.
I just
don't
think
it's
somebody else would have been Hitler. You know?
I don't.
Also, the butterfly problem, the butterfly effect. What's that? What rules are we going by in this time travel?
I just think that objectively, if you could look at the last 100 years in the world and say, hey, would it have been better if the Holocaust did happen or did not happen? I think it's pretty clear.
Okay, are you killing Christopher Columbus?
No, because I don't got a dang house.
What?
There'd still be Native Americans all up in here, and I wouldn't live here. And then I wouldn't have met you if Christopher Columbus didn't exist. I still would have met you if Hitler never existed.
How do you know?
He sailed the ocean blue. He colonized America.
How do you know you still would have met me if Hitler hadn't existed?
He didn't have anything to do with my life.
How do
I
you
wasn't
know?
a Jew. You weren't a Jew. We weren't in Germany.
It wasn't just Jews.
We weren't in Germany. Everything going on
I
here.
feel like far
everything
enough
going on
back
here.
we were.
We didn't have any people in our families who were in World War II.
Didn't my dad say some of us, my ancestors are German?
I don't
Didn't
know.
he say that? Like white German?
They don't got black Germans, so I don't know.
Yes, they do.
Well, they did before Hitler. They do be having black Germans, but
All right, we're going to stop this conversation.
So anyway, you've had to learn that that's not that the immediate
I
trauma
forgot
dumping
what we were
and
talking about.
you've had to learn that the immediate trauma dumping and oversharing is not
Not the way.
true connection or
No,
healthy.
it's not. I think it was just a defense mechanism. I just think I was like, if I can get it all out now,
Yeah.
either you run or you don't. And if you don't run, we're good. We're locked in. You can't leave.
My friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was just trying to force people to be my friends, which is so sad.
And for me, it was the exact opposite. It always has been, because I had a lot of friends. I had built-in friends that were just my
I didn't
best
go to
buddies.
school. I didn't get any built-in friends.
You've never been educated. I forgot.
Bruh.
I had a lot of friends, and so I never had to go hunting for that, because I was just thankfully in a position where I had some great, amazing friends who were just sort of built in because we were in the same sphere in church and whatever.
Yeah.
And so my struggle's been the opposite. I struggle to get vulnerable and to be totally authentic with just the actual way I think or feel about things. You know, like I can shapeshift super easily, or I can just stop short of being fully like transparent, which is honestly one of the ways that, because like I said, I've been working toward being better about that. But like when we went into college, my throat's doing a thing. We went into college. I was like very church kid, very fakey, and like not even really in touch with my actual thoughts or feelings. It was just like, nope, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to do. I'm going into this. I'm going to be in music ministry. And everyone that I met, I would just like throw around all the Christianese words and the Bible-y and the never actually even really processing.
All of college was a, how do I say this appropriately? A theology measuring competition.
Yeah.
It's like everybody had
How
a
much do you
ruler
know
out.
about the Bible? Mine's bigger than yours.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that was all it was. It was never like, hey, let's actually make deep connections. It was just, let's
For us, our
all
1 year there.
talk about how on mission we are and how much do I know about the Bible, whatever. And so I was just in a place of not being open in any way. And that's one of the ways that I knew that you were my person when I first met you, was that I was immediately so comfortable with you. Like I was just
It's because
immediately...
I drama dumped on you.
No, because there were a lot of people who really did not like you because of that. There were a lot of people who, like, that was the reason that they didn't want to be around you.
I don't think that was the case, because there were a lot of people that didn't like me that I didn't do that with. I just wasn't very likable.
I mean, you were kind of an ass.
I was just unlikable and
I
annoying.
just think,
and I was also intense. I was just intense.
you were intense.
I wasn't
And
always unlikable.
That's what I mean.
was
I
just
think
intense.
that scared a lot of people away, but for me it wasn't, because I just feel like I could see your heart. But also, you made me feel comfortable in a way that I had never been before with any human being, you know? Just talking about how I felt, talking about my true, I don't know, heart level thoughts and feelings about things, and I didn't have to have any walls up. I didn't have to be like, I didn't feel like I had to protect myself against something
It was
being
the
used
trauma
against
dumping.
me.
I'm telling you, if someone's that much worse than you, it's only
That's
up
not
for
what
you.
it was, bro. It was just that I felt like you actually heard me and that you
I also
cared.
asked you a lot of questions
You did.
that like forced you to think about things. Like I think
Yeah.
you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that like knowing that I cared, I think I remember you telling me this, knowing that I cared enough to like, no, what is your opinion on that?
Yes.
What
and
do you
also
actually
that,
think?
And I think I also wasn't used to people caring about just me. You know, I had always kind of been wired to be like, I matter in terms of what I am contributing, but just me being myself and being here is not what matters. And so it was like the first time in my life that I felt like someone just cared about me because I was myself. And like I was just a human being that you loved, you know? And so it was special.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sweet.
I love you.
I love you.
Anyway,
Okay, let me look at my list, see if we got anything else.
we should wrap this one up. It's a process. It's something that I think we've been conscious of it for like the last 2 years, maybe. Because we've both kind of come into ourselves and understanding like, here's who I am. Here's what matters to me. Here are my values. Here's what I want to be as a person. And also I think also both being more confident lately in our identity in the Lord, even being able to see like even like some of the shape shifting is probably a searching for what your identity even is.
Mm-hmm.
And so being able to be confident in our identity in Christ, like, hey, that's what I am, as I'm a child of God. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Christ, and so that's who I am.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to go searching for something to tell me that. And so just being able to stand on that and be like, yeah, that is what I am, and I can just walk confident in that,
Mm-hmm.
That's really helpful.
Yeah. And I think that part specifically for me, I no longer wonder if I have the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
So I'm not like
Praise him.
unsure if I'm not being convicted about something. You know?
So you
Like
almost,
I'm not
yeah,
always
yeah.
wondering, am I sinning and I'm just not being convicted? Does that mean I'm not saved? Does that mean I'm not
Yeah,
going through
you're
that
more
spiral?
confident in your internal
Yeah.
processing of things and your moral code.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, and I'm thinking about passages like, is it Romans 14? That's
I
like,
don't remember.
I think there are a couple of different passages, but I think that one's about eating things and there not being things that are bad to eat. But if
And-
it's offensive to somebody else, then don't do it.
And also, like, your own conscience will convict you with the Spirit. Yeah.
And there's another passage that's about basically everything is permissible, but not everything is profitable. That's what it says. Not basically. I think that I'm just kind of at the point where I'm like, oh, everything's not like this huge, terrible, sinful thing.
Yeah.
And if it is, the Holy Spirit will convict me of that. I'm not
And
just looking around for
does,
other
too.
people. Yeah. I'm not looking around constantly for other people to validate my choices and my ideas and whatever else. It's not that I'm not using wisdom and seeking wisdom from people, but I'm not seeking validation from people all the time.
That's so good.
anymore. Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Because you kind of have now your validation is in the Lord.
Yeah.
And I like you a lot, too. You're pretty cool.
Oh, thanks. I like you too. Sometimes.
Sometimes. That was authenticity.
Yeah. I feel like we talked about a lot of things and no things. I almost feel like we never said anything, like got to the end of any point.
Okay.
So we'll see.
What's a concrete takeaway or a concrete step, I guess, that's like, hey, here's something that you can do or that we have done to work toward that? Because that might make it feel more complete to you.
Do you have one already in mind?
I think my thing about the humor is maybe a good example where it's just like, and you said this too in a different way, essentially just that it's scary. Stepping out and just putting yourself out there on the line and just being like, this is me. And instead of thinking through the lens of how someone's going to respond to this, I'm just going to open up and I'm just going to like react to things how I would react or speak how I would speak and just let it be what it is. And so, and like, I think leaning back on your confidence as like, if you're a believer, it's like, I know that I can be confident in my identity in the Lord and that I don't have to operate out of this fear of man thing. But I think, just kind of like just trying it, honestly, just being bold and just stepping out as yourself in an area where you might not have before.
Yeah.
It's the best thing I can think of.
That's good.
What about you?
I think the meter is helpful. Just thinking about it as what percentage of myself does this person get and not which version of myself.
That's good. It's a really good thing.
Yeah. I think our ability to code switch as a people is like a survival instinct.
Yeah.
Like I think it's just built in.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still necessary, but I feel like at one point it probably really was.
Well, especially for black people, dang.
Yeah. And so I think that I'm not saying that code switching is necessarily bad all the time, but I just think there are scenarios where it's just not healthy.
Yeah.
And you're not building community or closeness or anything like that. So yeah, I think thinking of it as the meter, what percentage of me does this person get, and figuring out what places are safe, what people are safe.
That's good.
Even sometimes there are safe and unsafe people within one group, like
Yeah.
using wisdom in how you interact with people, and I don't know, finding the balance between erring on the side of less and on the side of more and all of that.
Yeah.
I think the meter is kind of a helpful way for me to think about it.
Yeah, I like that. And just be confident in the Lord, not in yourself, ultimately.
Yeah. That's a good one.
All right. Oh, hey. We'll do our heart thing. We did a heart thing the other day. It was cute.
Could we get over the thing? You guys scoot over. Oh, wrong way. Okay. Go down a little bit.
Love.
There you go.
Look
Because
at that.
the light.
Y'all, this was our first video episode.
Yep.
Let us know what you think. Do you
Do
like
we look
seeing
dumb?
us? Do we look dumb?
Is the fidgeting distracting?
We could look mad stupid.
We could.
You can see some of my rolls over here. That's nice. A little bit of... That's me. We will be back at you soon.
What's our thing for this episode?
If you made it this far, we talked about...
Put a pin in it.
Put a pin in it. Oh, yeah. Do it just like the little push pin emoji.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And maybe just like something about put a pin in it.
Yeah. We're just... Yeah, that's good.
Or some other acknowledgement that you have seen the movie Bolt.
Yeah.
Because that's just... I think we need a community of Bolt fans.
What is the song that Miley Cyrus made for that movie?
I thought I lost you when you ran away and tried to find me. I thought I'd never see
you really know this
your
song.
sweet face again.
Okay.
It's because it's a good song, man.
It's a good movie.
It's a good movie. It's everything about it is good. I think her dad sings that with her. I think it's her and Billy Ray.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, is that all we got?
I think that's all we got.
All right. We'll see y'all next time.
Peace.
Peace.